Hey there. It's May 12th and time for Proverbs 12. So we're more stuff about the righteous and the wicked today, good and the bad, the smart and the dumb, right? So let's do these. Whoever loves knowledge loves correction, but whoever hates reproof is stupid, right? Says fool over here, right? If you love knowledge, you will love correction. You would want to know if you're wrong, right? Wisdom and knowledge is about truth. If what you're believing is not the truth, you should want to be corrected so you believe the truth. If you don't want to be corrected, it says you're a fool, says you're stupid. Let that sink in. A good man obtains favor from Adonai, but he condemns a person with evil schemes. Right? A lot of people with evil schemes, even though they're pretending they want to do the right thing, but they're really not. Okay? No one is made secure by wickedness, but a righteous root will not be moved. Right? Righteous. A virtuous wife is her husband's crown, but a dishonoring one is like rottenness in his bones. Right? Everyone wants a virtuous wife, right? You need to be a good husband to do that. The plans of the righteous are just, but the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. Lots of that going on, right? 6, the words of the wicked will lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright delivers them. Say good things, right? The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the household of the righteous will stand. We're all waiting for that, aren't we? And I said, Jesus said it would get worse and worse and worse until he comes back, and it is doing just that. But the household of the righteous will stand. A man is praised according to his insight, but one with a twisted mind is despised. Insight, commended for his wisdom. 9, better to have little honor and a servant than to have glory and no bread. Okay. It says it better over here in the 1599 Geneva version, right? Better to have little honor. It's better. He that is despised and is his own servant is better than he that boasteth himself and lacketh bread. Right? Right. The poor man that contend and yet liveth of his own travail. Right. So this in the Hebrew, it's better to have little honor and be able to take care of yourself than it is to have glory and no bread. Right. Lots of people pretending out there, right? They drive fancy cars and wear fancy clothes, but they can't pay their bills and they have no groceries, right? They're just after glory. Okay. Caring for animals and land. A righteous person cares for the life of his animal, yet even the compassion of the wicked is cruel. Is merciful even to the very beasts that doeth him service. Right. If you want to see if a person has a good heart or not, watch how they treat animals. Okay? A righteous person cares for animals. Okay? Some people are almost sociopaths when it comes to that. They don't care. They look down on them, kick them around, right? We are charged by God to take care of all the animals on the earth. Okay? 11, the one who works his land will have plenty of food, but whoever chases daydreams lacks sense. I like that. You see people that chases daydreams? One of these days, right? 12. The wicked covets the loot of evil men, but the root of the righteous flourishes. All right. This section's important. Fruit of the mouth. 13. An evil one is ensnared by the sin of lips, but the righteous one escapes trouble. Keep your mouth shut. All right. Just most of the time, keep your mouth shut. And when you do speak, say only good, kind, beneficial things. Right? 14. By the fruit of his mouth, a man will be satisfied with good. The work of a man's hands will reward him. Right? By the fruit of your mouth. If only good things come out, then you will be satisfied with good. 15. A fool's way is right in his own eyes, but the wise listen to advice. Get that? Always get advice. 16. A fool shows his irritation immediately, but a prudent person overlooks an insult. Right? You overlook stuff. Right? A fool will, if something said bad, they will instantly put their fists up and want to fight. Right? Yell and scream. A prudent person overlooks insults. Right? It's like, okay. Over here. Bridleth his affections. Bridles your affections. Like that. 17. A trustworthy witness tells what is right, but a false witness, deceit. You're supposed to swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And a trustworthy person will, but a false witness will lie. 18. A reckless speech is like the thrust of a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Overlooking insult. By the fruit of his mouth, the man will be satisfied with good. Reckless speech is like the thrust of a sword. Right? The tongue of the wise brings healing. Right? That's why you say good things, only kind things. Right? Things that are edifying and uplifting. Right? And you can find something good to say about everybody. Okay? 19. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue for only a moment. Right? The truth will always be the truth, and it will always be there, and it will never change. 20. Deceit is in the heart of those who plot evil, but those promoting shalom, peace, right, have joy. Promote peace. Blessed are the peacemakers. Okay, 21. No harm befalls the righteous, but the wicked are full of misery. Like that? No harm befalls the righteous. Lying lips are detestable to Adonai, but those who act faithfully are his delight. Right? It says all over that the Lord hates liars. Okay? They're detestable. Right? 23. A clever person conceals his knowledge, but the heart of a fool blurts out folly or foolishness. Right? And it says in Proverbs, if you are wise for yourself, not to show off. That becomes pride and arrogance, right? Most of the time, keep your mouth shut. Don't walk in and say, I know all about this, because somebody will shoot you down. Heart of a fool blurts out foolishness. Okay, diligence or sloth. 24 says, the hand of the diligent will rule, but the lazy will become forced labor. Yeah. If you do nothing long enough, somebody's going to force you to get up and do something, right? People who have been on welfare for so long that they are now forced to work. Okay? Forced labor. 25, an anxious heart weighs one down, but a good word cheers him up. Okay? A good word cheers him up. Say kind things, right? If you're a person that only says kind things and uplifting and edifying things, people will come to you, right? Because they know you're going to say kind, uplifting, edifying things. Right? 26, the righteous gives his friend guidance, but the way of the wicked leads astray. Mm-hmm. Solomon talks all about going down the wrong path with the wrong people and where it ends up. Right? The way of the wicked leads astray. 27, a lazy person does not roast his game, but a diligent person prizes his possessions. Okay. It's a note over here. Although he get much by unlawful means, yet will he not spend it upon himself. Right? This is like hoarders, okay? Hoarders get stuff and buy stuff. They just pile it up and never use it, right? They don't prize the individual stuff. They prize the hoard and the stuff. Lazy. Don't roast your game, right? You just buy stuff and you don't use it. Right? A diligent person prizes his possessions, uses his stuff, okay? And 28, in the path of the righteousness is life. It is a path to immortality. There you go. That's righteousness. Okay, all about righteousness. In one of these times, we're going to study all the righteous stuff. Okay, nobody can be totally righteous. You can only strive to be righteous. Okay, because you live in a very evil world. So let's put all the righteous ones together. Stuff. No one is made secure by wickedness, but a righteous root will not be moved. Right. Righteous root will not be moved. The plans of the righteous are just. Okay? If you're righteous, your plans are just. Okay? The household of the righteous will stand. An important one, a righteous person cares for the life of his animal. That means you don't chain him to a tree in the backyard. You don't beat your horses. All right? The root of the righteous flourishes. Here's a good one. The righteous one escapes trouble, right? By the fruit of his mouth. Right? An evil one is ensnared by the sin of his lips. But the righteous one escapes trouble because they keep their mouth shut. Right? No harm befalls the righteous. The righteous gives his friend guidance. And in the path of righteousness is life. It is a path to immortality. Right? Live forever in the presence of God. Yeah. What else are we highlighting here? Whoever loves knowledge loves correction, but whoever hates reproof is stupid or is a fool over here. If you love knowledge, reading the Bible is where all knowledge is. Okay, we're seeking knowledge. If you're wrong, if what you're believing is wrong, you want to be corrected. You want to say, that's not what that says. This is what it means, right? And you should love being corrected, right? Because now you know the truth, right? If you hate being corrected, it says you're stupid and you're a fool. Yeah, it's that easy. 9 is highlighted. Better to have a little honor and a servant, or be able to take care of yourself, than to have glory and no bread, no food. Good one. Whoever chases daydreams lacks sense. Right. It's like playing the lottery, right? You know you can't win that, right? And this one's important. By the fruit of his mouth, a man will be satisfied with good. Okay? You could change your heart. There's a lot of popular songs and verses. Change my heart, O God, for out of the heart, evil. Everything comes from the heart. So if you pray for the Lord to change your heart, it starts by saying, thinking, and doing only good things. Okay? Uplifting, edifying things. Never saying something derogatory or evil. And then, by the fruit of your mouth, you will be satisfied with good. That's a very important statement. 16 is highlighted. A fool shows his irritation immediately. But a prudent person overlooks an insult. Right? Can you just keep walking? Or in the modern days, just keep scrolling. Okay, just keep scrolling. Okay, you don't even know that person. There's plenty of people on the internet that will argue with a complete stranger. Right? You just keep scrolling and it goes away. Overlook it. Okay. 18 is highlighted. Reckless speech is like the thrust of a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Okay, that all draws together with fruit of your mouth. You'll be satisfied with good. Reckless speech is like stabbing somebody. Hurtful speech, right? You can break bones with words. But your tongue, you can bring healing instead. Okay. 23 is highlighted. A clever person conceals his knowledge, but the heart of a fool blurts out folly or foolishness, right? If you're wise for yourself. That's what it says in Proverbs 5, I think. It's not for broadcasting, okay? You get wise for yourself. And will you never, ever be all wise? No, you can't be, okay? An anxious heart weighs one down, but a good word cheers him up. More of saying kind things, okay? Part of being righteous is only saying kind things. And you can do that if you try. It requires thought, okay? Quick to listen, slow to speak, right? That's in James. That means you're listening and listening completely before you formulate an answer. And then you formulate the answer in your head and say, is this a kind thing to say? Okay? A good word will cheer them up. Okay? And 27. A lazy person does not roast his game, but a diligent person prizes his possessions. Right? Person will kill something and not even cook it. They throw it on the pile with everything else and let it rot. Right? It's a lazy person. So, there you go. That is Proverbs 12. Lots of good stuff in there, right? That's a good stuff. Okay. Stay tuned later today. We're on day 132 of our Through the New Testament in a year. We're starting John 3 today. I believe we'll do half of that. Right? Jesus is starting his ministry now. Okay. So stay tuned for that. Give us a like if you think about it. And tomorrow we'll continue. See you then.